So as you're trying to go through these steps, you should be getting marks, the scores. In other words, the percent it has to keep increasing. Okay. So this is what you're going to do to configure a router with the initial configurations. And those initial configurations are the same as what we did in chapter 2 on the switch. On the switch. So I'm not going to read through this, all this, because you're going to I'm going to give you that packet tracer activity there, and then you can read through the scenarios here, like the background and blah blah. But here, what you're going to do, the main objective one, to verify the default router configuration, then configure and verify the initial router configuration, and then save. And then save. I want try by all means to be short, within like not even more than 10 minutes. There I will be able to give you the recording today. But if it goes beyond 10 minutes, then automatically I will not give it to you. It will be for the following day. The following day. And we are left with, I think, let me see what you have. Oh, it's 1 minute now. Now, step number 1, to verify the default router configuration. And how are we going to, step number 1, yes, to verify, that is part 1, verify the default. And then step number 1, to verify, as you can see, these two devices are not connected together. We need to connect them together. How? The instructions are clear. Once you read through the instructions, you will get to know what they need. So I'll just go for that cable, the console, which is this, connect it here. I will skip that because I want my recording to be short, and then click on the console. So for it, it is clear on what you're supposed to be doing. And then I will use this computer to access the router by clicking on desktop, and then go to terminal, and then click OK. There we are. Okay, so I'll use enable as this enable to go to the next mode, enable. And then in this privilege, because that was the user mode, now this is the privilege mode. I use the configure terminal. So I'm in. Oh, before that, because we are supposed to verify, sorry, we're supposed to verify exit. So here you run the command show running config, which is that you press enter. So on this, what's the host name? This is what we have as the host name. We have this more, it means that we have another page there. Use space button. You'll be asked what are the maybe fast Ethernet, how many are the fast Ethernets, how many interfaces that are fast Ethernets, you count them. Interface fast Ethernet, how many are they? About the gigabit Ethernets, you look for gigabit Ethernets, how many are they? How many are serious? Still, you look at them. So it's not all about, because it has the questions, and those questions are here. So this is all about for connecting, establishing the connection. Then step number 2, to access navigate, you see enter in the privilege mode, the command is here. Then run the command, which is show running. After this, what is the router's host name? How many fast Ethernet interfaces? How many gigabit Ethernets? How many serial? What is the range value shown for VTY? For VTY, it is here. The VTY, it is 04. And then we go ahead and run this command, show startup config. and we expect no present. And the question is, why does the router respond with startup config is not present? Because as of now, there is nothing that has been saved. That's the reason why you'll be able to see startup config is not present. So I can do that, and then we witness show, then startup config. So startup config is not present. Reason being, we haven't saved, we haven't configured anything. Then we have what part 2, configure and verify the initial router configuration. Step number 1, configure initial setting router notch. This we need to configure the host name as, we need to consider the host, configure the host name as R1, which is this, and the command is, you have to be in global configuration mode. In global configuration mode, it's host, then name, which is R1. Then another step, which is this, to configure message of the day, which is banner, then MOTD, then use any symbol, but I will use / and then put the message, which is unauthorized. Unauthorized access is strictly prohibited. You press enter, and then we encrypt the plain text password using part C, encrypt all plain text passwords. Encrypt all plain text password. And which command are we going to use? It's service password encryption. So that is part C. Part 1, host name. Part 2, part B, it's configure the message of the day. Then part C, to encrypt the plain password, which is this command now, this one here. Okay, then use the following passwords: the one privileged password and encrypted password. I remember explaining that an encrypted privileged password, it's enable password, which is Cisco. So it is an encrypted password, but since we have already enabled the service password encryption, it's going to be encrypted. Then we have even this privileged access password that is encrypted. It is enable secret, enable secret, and then the password, it is a secret. It is a secret. It is a secret, like that. It is a secret. It is a secret. So by the way, I didn't take you through as you punching the commands, max keeps on changing. I don't know whether you have noticed that max are just changing. Now I'm on a 70. You can imagine, meaning that you're almost completing the activity. Okay, so enable secret, it is a secret as the password. And then we can part 3, this part 1, it was an encrypted password. Part 2, encrypted password. Then part 3, it has to be a console. So how to do the console? The console. Okay, so part 6 console, this is what we need. Line console, then 0. Okay, then the password. Now what's the password? The password, let me in. Yeah, so password, please, you have to follow the instruction. So password, it is let me in. Let me in. If I press enter, I'm on 80 now. Then log in. Log in. I'm on 90, meaning that I'm left with just one configuration, and then I seed it. Then patch 2. Sorry, step 2, to verify the initial settings on the router. Part A here, verify the initial settings by viewing configuration. What command do we need? So we have to use the other command, and which mode. So I have to use exit. I again exit and be in privilege mode and run the command show running config. You press enter. So running config. So my service password encryption, it is enabled. The host name has changed to R1. The two password for privilege, there are two here. There is this encrypted, then this is unencrypted, but it is hidden. Then what else? What else? The line console, I've managed to configure the line console. The password is here. It is always in plain text, but I use the encryption method to encrypt it. Okay, so here they're saying exit the current. Well, exactly after you configuring this, you exit the current console until you see the following message. The following message. Okay, I'm going to still continue exiting even this. So if you exit, I've exited for good. So now we have the message of the day, which is this. There is something that I missed. That's the reason why I'm not even on 100, because I missed this dot. This dot is part of the unauthorized. I will see whether win. Okay, I will see whether I will score 100. So we need to punch in the password. The password for this, it was what? Password for line console, it's let me in. Okay, then enable. Then password for the other one, it's a secret. It's a secret. Yeah, there we are. There we are. So part D, enter the password necessary to return to the privilege mode. I've done that. Why should enable secret password allow access to the privilege? Because enable secret, it overrides the enable password. If you configure any more passwords on the router, are they displayed in the configuration file? Are they displayed as plain text or encrypted? They are encrypted. Why? Because we used the other password, service password encryption. So we need to save now. We need to save. And how are we going to save? We have to be in this mode. And then saving, it's just copy, running, then startup like this. Oh, final I'm at 100. And then what command did you enter to save the configuration to this? I've used copy running config, then startup configuration mode. What is the shortest and ambiguous version of this command? So that command, it is copy run then start, like that. That is the shortest. The shortest format, and then press enter like this. So that is it.